Which lens do you view your world with? Do you see your world as, like when we use the metaphor of a glass, as half full or half empty? The way in which you decide to see a world either defines whether you view a world from a scarcity mentality or what we call a fixed mentality, or from an abundant mentality, or what is called a growth mindset. My name is Butagi Hlalele from Dreams Made Possible, and today I would like to talk to you about the concept of abundance and how we can create possibilities out of what we have as individuals. Before we go any further, your support and subscribing to this channel is very, very important to us so that we can continue to spread knowledge and empowerment that is going to free you and help you become the greatest version of yourself. Let's go back to the subject of abundance. Let me just share a story of someone that is dear to me. And you will think that I'm joking. It's a true story. This person very close to me says when she was growing up, she thought that the land is going to finish. Like when she finishes studying, there will be no land left for her to buy, to have a house, because everyone would have taken that piece of land. And as a result, she could not wait for that day when she can start working so that she can go out, buy land, build a house there so that she can have what she calls a home. And true to that fact, she laughs to herself today that, what was I thinking at that moment, to think with so much vastness out there, I can believe that the land is going to just come to an end and finish, and I will not even have the piece of land. But luckily for her, she started realizing that it was an immature view to the world. And she now laughs at herself, like I say, because she understands that it is abundant out there. But let me tell you, unlike her, there are still many people out there who are caught in believing in the concept of scarcity, who believe that there is so little that everything is going to run out, and we are not going to be part of the bigger game out there of life, because money is going to run out, water is going to run out, food is going to run out, all of those things. Yes, there are challenges as far as climate change and other things that are challenging these gifts that God has given us. But in a nutshell, there is enough for everyone. And if we can start to view the world that way, we can change a lot about our lives. And what is this abundance? It simply means plentiful. There's a lot out there for everyone. Think about it. How many businesses have just started forming out there? In the last, say, 4 or 5 years, even in the midst of COVID, new businesses came out, and then they are making millions and millions, billions and billions of dollars out there. How many cars are being produced? There are new cars that are coming, that are being produced on a daily basis, because there's abundance. There's a lot of people out there that are buying cars. Yes, we can say the market at some point does not allow, the sales are going down, but that does not stop the fact that there are a lot of people out there who are waiting for the right moment for them to buy cars. How many of new plants are coming out there? So there's a lot for everyone. And if we can start thinking that way, we will not even kill each other for opportunities out there. I'm not a politician. I don't like to get into politics. But as a South African, what really, really pains me is to see politicians killing each other for opportunities, business opportunities, because they believe that is the end of everything. But once they can start thinking of how abundant this life is, they will start to look at life differently. Let me give you an example of the businesses that are being born every day. But let's cast our eyes backwards. Somewhere in the USA in 1942, Kentucky Fried Chicken was found. And later, in 1971, it reached our shores of South Africa. And a year before KFC came, Steers was founded. Fast forward in 1981 in Ridgeway, Johannesburg, Chicken Licken was founded. Forward again to 1987 in Rosettenville, Nando's was founded. Why am I making these examples? Somebody could have said, Steers is there, KFC is there, and there is no need for me in 1981 to bring what we call Chicken Licken. But let me tell you what an abundance mindset does. Somebody said in 1981, KFC is there, Steers is there, but this might not serve the taste buds of everybody. And then I'm going to come up with the same product, but introduce a different taste, a different recipe, and different spices that will cater for other people. Because think about it, there are people who even at the time, maybe KFC was not serving their taste buds. And then they realized that there was Steers. But even, let's say both of them did not cater for the taste buds. And then Chicken Licken came and somebody said, voila, this resonates with me. Later down the line, there might be people who says, these three, KFC, Steers, Chicken Licken, they do not serve me. And then Nando's came, and then Nando's addressed their need. And that is how life is. There is always abundance out there. There's always an angle that people look at to be able to introduce the same product, but maybe in a different way. So it is just for us to think differently about these things so that we can grow in the different facets of our lives. Let me give you an example again. Somebody asked me the other day that there are so many self-help books in this world. Why did I write a book, and what does that book serve? Because people talk about how to become self-aware, how to develop your confidence, how to develop your self-esteem. And let me tell you, there are many books around it. Go into Google and just type leadership. You will come a huge number, if not mistaken, more than 2 million hits as far as the subject of leadership. Because there are different perspectives that different people use to address a particular subject. I have read many books as well. There are many speakers out there as well. And when I listen to one and then compare to the next, you might find that the other one resonates better for me compared to the other one. Does it mean that the other speaker, the other writer is not saying the right things? They are saying the right things, but probably not for me. Similar, even me. It might be that somebody does not resonate with me, but there is also somebody that resonates with me, even if the concepts that we use are so different, are the same. So that is why in Matthew 9, I think chapter 37, verse 37, if not mistaken, when Jesus was addressing his disciples, he said, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And that concept has stayed with me, that there is so much out there that needs to be that needs to happen. There are so many people that needs to be touched. And there are a few people who are doing that to touch and change people's lives. And because it is my passion, I ended up into this field. If not, I could have said, there are many books being written. I'm not going to write a book. I could have said, there are many podcasts out there. I'm not going to start a podcast. But let me tell you, there are, if I go back to the Bible, I don't know which verse it is, but there is a reference to the fact that there are many rooms in my Father's house. Now look at the world that way, because there are many rooms in this world that we are living in. There is no opportunity or need for you to be envious for another person, because you can do it yourself. There is no room and there is no need for you to hate other people because they are using their skills and their abilities, because you can still do what God has gifted you with. So if somebody is selling vegetables this side, you can sell vegetables this side. And now people can say, these people are on the same street, on the same queue and selling the same thing. Let me tell you what is the difference. When I come to that stall, I will look, they are selling pumpkin here, they are selling pumpkin here. For me, the differentiator will be the attitude that you use to attract me to your store. It will be the cleanliness of your store. So in that way, you will still be selling the same thing, but you differentiate yourself. So what I mean is there's abundance for everyone. And once we start to believe that way, we are going to change our lives to the better. So how do we go about to develop this abundant mindset? I look at abundance from the perspective of the sea. I don't know if there's any scientist who can tell us how much water is in the sea or is in the ocean. And because I believe that nobody can tell us that, I believe that there are so many opportunities out there, like you have this water in the sea. It is just for us to go out and grab those opportunities and develop an abundant consciousness or growth mindset. So here's the distinction. And Carol Dweck did a study, she's a psychologist, did a study on the difference between fixed and growth mindset. And her study simply says, in a nutshell, if you are caught in a fixed mindset, you are caught in what you call determinism, meaning that you believe that certain things are predetermined. As an example, if you believe that other people have got intelligence and they are born with it, and you are not born with it, chances are that you will not take an opportunity to develop your intelligence. So if you have a growth mindset, you will then say, I can work around this muscle, train it, and develop it until it expands. So that's the difference between the two. So for you to develop this abundance consciousness or a fixed mindset, you need to look at a few things so that you can go into that sea and draw water out of this huge gift that we have been given. Let's start with the first one. I believe that you can develop a growth mindset once you start to have goals. And once you believe that the dreams that you have, the aims that you have can be achievable. It starts there, just with a belief and writing down your goals. Because once you start writing those goals, it starts to open yourself how you view the world. But here's a powerful tool, number 2, which is the concept of visualization. I'm a coach and I use this tool a lot for myself, but also for the clients that I have worked with. Once you visualize the future that you want and you see that reality happening now, even if it's 3 years down the line, you start to allow yourself to think wildly, openly, and then you start to see possibilities. So you remove the critique that is inside you, but you just visualize this future that you want. You visualize this house that you want. You visualize this car that you want. You visualize the peace of mind that you need. You visualize the peace that you want with your family. So it's not only always about the external things. Just visualize those things. See them happening in your life. And you will definitely start to see your actions, your behaviors gravitating towards that. But then the other thing is, which is the third thing that you can do to develop this abundant mindset, is to have affirmations. Affirm the type of future that you want. I've spoken to most people and they believe that affirmation is a waste of time. But once I start unpacking for people to say, we are always affirming, but unfortunately, our minds have been trained to affirm the wrong things. That's why we use words like, the rich will always become richer. It's an affirmation in a way, because inadvertently we are saying the poor will remain poor. So we affirm that we are born in poverty and then we'll remain in poverty. And what happens? We do things that leads us into poverty. We become consumers. We become spenders all the time. And we do this subconsciously. And that's how we affirm this poverty for ourselves in our lives. But if you can affirm the type of future that you want, and do it as a daily practice. Develop 1 or 2 affirmations for yourself that are going to change your life. You will realize that your life will become a better version than what it is now. Lastly, you can develop a growth mindset or abundance consciousness by becoming the student of life. Learn continuously, because once you learn, you allow yourself to be challenged by other perspectives. There's a concept we call transformative learning. How does transformative learning happen? It happens when you allow yourself to, your views to be challenged by the new reality, by the new evidence that challenges the current evidence that you have. And once you allow yourself to look at things differently based on the new evidence, and then you shift how you look at the world, we'll say transformation has happened. Transformative learning has happened. But if you are stuck in same views with same people every time, then you are not going to grow. So there is so much for every one of us out there. I would encourage you, as you sit down at home, in whatever that you do, to see possibilities in your life. They might not look like they are possible at this moment, but once you start believing that it is possible and your actions support the future that you want, your life is going to change to the better. Let's go out there. Let's not fight for scrambles of bread that are falling off the table, because there are loaves and loaves out there that have been baked for us in this future, in this life. And all of us have enough for each one and for others that loves us. Dreams made possible. We believe that you can make your dreams possible. Butaki Hlalele, thank you for subscribing, and let's meet in the next episode when we share these life lessons for a great life.